Welcome to the Easy Project with your boy Eddie.
And your boy zebbyt. This podcast is about athletes transitioning into business and also the business leaders around the Gold Coast.
And Zebby and I have played NRL for 10 plus years.
And we're utilising the skills that we've learned over our NRL career to inspire others to chase their dreams and goals. Let's go!
All right, welcome back to the Easy Project with my boy Zebby and our special guest.
Yeah, we've got a special guest today, Nathan Peats. Let's go. Hey, before we start, we always start off with flowers, bro. This is the main part of the show. All right. Nathan Peats, born and raised in Camperdown, Sydney, a La Perouse junior.
Eesh.
Also attended famous Matraville Sports High School where you were going to win the Arrival Life Cup. Love that. The son of former Canterbury Bulldogs and South Sydney Rabbitohs player Geordie Peats.
Let's go.
Captain of the grand final Rabbitohs NYC team.
Losing
team, sorry, bros, that lost to the Warriors. Debuted in 2011 for the Rabbitohs against Manly Seagulls. PT will go on to play over 200 career games across the NRL and the Super League. A proud Indigenous man, always giving back to the community. You posed on the naked calendar for the NRL. Is that right?
Clooney.
Yeah.
You're known for having the best hairline in the business.
Yeah, it's up there.
You're looking better now than when you were playing. Welcome to the Easy Project, Nathan Peats. Let's go.
Wow,
what about that?
That's
Hey,
good
like
intro.
that
I'll take that.
Take that
you
over.
do have the best hairline.
He does, eh?
Not bad, man.
Hey, it's always a topic of yours, eh? Hairlines, eh, bro?
Misa.
Show us yours, bro.
Nah, bro. Yeah, remember when at Titans, just always mocking everyone's hairline and
They
PT
started
just
with
had
us
that.
at
That's it. They started
The Misa
ourselves.
Boat champion. Captain coach of the McDonald's sign. The Misa we used to call it back in the day.
Misa.
The good old Misa, man.
It's
Tools is
crack up,
gone.
man. Yeah, his tool's gone.
Tools
Tools is gone. Quite a few boys as well.
Whippersnipper hairs left.
Michael Crocker, mate, he started it.
Oh man,
He was
that's
doing
so
the
funny.
PRP injections into his scalp. Everyone was getting PRP injections in their knees. He was getting them in his head for hair growth. He was 10 years before everyone. Because now everyone's doing it.
Oh,
I hope Tuckers watches. He loves a good hairline too.
he does, mate.
Well,
I think he's going too.
What
Yeah.
about Tuckers? Come on.
I think Tackers is gone.
Yeah,
I think he's gone. He's
I
trying
know.
to grow that
got
fridge.
the big forehead.
Well, what's
Oh,
happening? What's happening, Dave? What's been happening, bro?
Nice,
How's the
man,
family?
nice. Yeah, good, mate. Everyone's good. Good to be home. Been home for a few months now, 3 months. So, yesterday was the first night to put a jumper on. I was so upset at my son's footy game, so it was raining inside. But yeah, it's been so good to come back to summer, and obviously, it's autumn now, and it's beautiful. So
You reckon we took GC for granted?
I think I have in the past, like even living here. Like the other day, I think we had a kid-free day. And we're driving home from somewhere and we looked at Tally, look how nice it looks. And I was like, let's just pull over, let's go for a swim. Like, like we live 2 minutes away from the beach and like we got to pull home. I'm grateful and blessed to be able to have that. But so let's pull over. And we haven't got a tower cares, let's just jump in. Like you take it for granted living here sometimes. And
100%.
even like on a cloudy day, you're like, but just I want to try and make a habit of, going on the beach as much as you can. And that's because, living overseas, we've all been to England, what I mean? Like it's, then you go on, then the off season you go to Greece and you're like, how good's the beach? And you're like, we live here. Like, so definitely take it for granted sometimes.
No, I remember driving past Tully Creek the other day and I was like that tempted, like, yes, I'm by myself, nothing's going on. I've got like a time when I still took it for granted. Went back home.
Sometimes you just got to, realise where we live, I guess. We're very lucky.
Yeah, I remember you put a pickup with you guys and the kids in England. And I was like, bro, I'd hate to be back there. That was good to be back.
I think over there, if you're playing in a winning team, it makes such a big difference. And winning's not end all be all, but in rugby league it nearly is. Like I remember when I went to Huddersfield in 2021, and I think we won 8 out of our last 12, and I had so much fun there. It was a full crew, and I didn't want to leave, and it was so good. Winning 3 out of 4 games every month, and you've had experience at Wigan and Saints, it makes it so much easier. And I think last year when I went back, it just didn't go that way for me. And then, you're not on the greatest money compared to what you've been on here. And then going there and then the weather and then the lack of sun, just everything. And then if you're winning, though, you can probably get by. Yeah. But then when you're losing, it just capitulates and makes everything feel 10 times worse. I know you shouldn't bring it home back to your family now, but it really does in footy. And over there, it's a big difference.
That's why, we always say when someone hits us up about what was England like, hey, if you're ever going to go there, you only just go to the top 4.
100%.
That's it. Don't go to, I'm
They
not
get the
bad
money at
mouthing any of those
Wakefield.
other clubs. Hey, you might get the good coin, but hey, you have to go to a winning culture.
100%. So true, man.
Especially with a family,
Yeah,
and kids in
100%.
it. Yeah, man, let's kick it off, eh? Let's kick it off. Let's give us a rundown of your upbringing and where you started.
Yeah, so I was grew up with my mum, obviously, over in Rozelle, so it's right next to Leichhardt Oval.
So I was wrong in the intro. Sorry, bro. Are you Camperdown boy or what?
No, that's where I was born. It's the hospital. That's where I was born, yeah. But yeah, so grew up through Marrickville and Dullachill. Obviously, early days, so Anthony Albanese was the Marrickville MP, or what do they call it? Like mayor, or not mayor, like whatever it was. Now he's a Prime Minister. So yeah, grew up in those days at Marrickville and Dullachill, played for Marrickville RSL and Camperdown growing up. Then Mum moved over to Rozelle, which is near Leichhardt. We lived there. My old man lived over at Malabar near Lapa. So yeah, grew up with a single mum, and we lived in Aboriginal housing, and it was all good. Always have a roof over our head and food on the table, and then become a Bowmain junior. And then Adam Reynolds' was dad, and my old man and his old man went to school together, and obviously played with Adam when I was younger. And his
Twins.
dad, and Mark used to
100%.
pester my mum and myself, say, come to Lapa, I'll pick you up after school because you worked in Leichhardt Council, and I'll take you over to.
Yeah.
So after a year of like pestering me, he got me to go over to Lapa, and that's where sort of everything kicked off with footy. You know what I mean? So thanks to Mark Reynolds, Adam Reynolds' dad. If it wasn't for him being persistent and taking me to training every day and stuff like that. But yeah, and then I slowly transitioned over to live with my dad. Started going to Maddo Sports High, and then then after that, moved in with Blake Judd, one of my best mates, and lived with him for 4 years. And besides having meet my wife and having my kids, as 2009, 2010, playing in the 20s and living in his house, and my first 2 year grade was some of the best years of my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool, man. And then now I'm married, 3 kids, living on the Gold Coast for the last 8 years, besides being overseas. But it's been a bit of a journey. It's a rugby league journey, obviously. It's pretty much all I've ever known. So starting that next chapter of my life, which I'm excited about, and go from there. But yeah, it's been a fun experience so far in life. 34 this year, plenty of life to live and plenty to offer. But that sort of first chapter of my life's over, and looking for the next part.
Wow, that's amazing.
Hey, take us through that we call it Maddo, that Maddo team, because you had a lot of
Bro, they were
dudes,
stacked, bro,
You
that
guys
team.
were stacked when you won that Rival Life Cup.
I didn't actually win it. I didn't play.
Oh, you didn't play? Oh, you went in that
I
team?
got kicked out. I got kicked out of school. Yeah. I was going to cut you off the intro. So that was all those boys, Reynolds and who else was there? There's so many boys playing. Aaron Gretsch, Ray Tafakatau, like all those boys. Mooney, like there was some good team back then. But I left just before that. But it was a stacked school. At one stage it was Martin Kenya was there, Jake Friend, Boyd Cordner, Shandor Earl, myself, Adam Reynolds, like
Jimmy Tama was there too.
It was just a stacked high school. There was just that, and then Endeavour was the other boys, like Chase Stanley and all those boys, Matty Mundine. So, it was a prolific sort of NRL school, wasn't it? Like everyone sort of came to the ranks, and then all the Roosters juniors came over too. So but it was it didn't last long. Got kicked out. So, I just wasn't.
Damn it.
Yeah, I wasn't a.
So were you part of the crew that went on to win it, or were you?
Yeah, I was with them in year 10 and stuff like that, and I left year 11 when I got kicked out, and they went on to win it the next year. And I think Reynolds played the year younger, so he wouldn't have to win it that year.
Damn it, we've got to get our facts right next time.
that's
Right. Sorry, guys.
You were close enough.
But he was part of it. He was part
Scotty
of it.
Murray was the coach.
Yeah.
So he was a Roosters man, and
He didn't keep you in.
Yeah, so it was good. But it was a good experience going to school.
Have you always, obviously growing up as a kid, have you always wanted to play rugby league as a young fella, or was it just
it's all I loved it, man. Like I sort of try and get up my son now, my oldest boy, because he's really good at footy, and he's only 9, turning 10. But like I used to sleep with the footy. Like I used to love it, man. Like Roosters were my team. Brad Fittler was my favourite player. Like I watched all the games every weekend. Slept with the footy. I was kicking the ball around the house. I was like on a rainy day like today. We'd stop on the way home in the bus, go straight down the Leichhardt to Blackmore Oval, which is Leichhardt Wanderers' home ground, and we played mud footy. Like all our mums would be blowing up, come pick us up at like 5 o'clock in the dark. Like we'd be covered. Like we just lived and breathed. You know what I mean? So slightly different though. We didn't have iPads and the whole VHS and the thing. Like maybe a random PlayStation 1 or Nintendo every now and then. Like it was all about being outdoors, and it's just so different these days. Like up here in the Gold Coast, you get kids outdoors a lot, and but even my kids, man, like as soon as they get home from school, they want to go on their phones or play Xbox. I'm like, go, it's raining, Dad. Go kick the ball, man. Like go play tackle footy in the backyard. But there are kids like that. Don't get me wrong, but it's just different. But I lived and breathed it, man. Like I loved it. I put all my eggs in the one basket, so I'm lucky I made it, I guess, in a way. But on the flip side, it's a bit annoying because I didn't follow through with something else, and probably listen in school more, you know what I mean? Because it's not that it's backfired. I've done well with my money and my career and property and stuff. It's more that transition phase which I'm going through now. I wish, even during my career, I said on another podcast, I wish I would have done some courses, some cert 3s and 4s, or listened in school, just a little bit more, so that transition could have been easier. But in saying that, man, I left school at 16, I'm 34 this year. So what are you gonna do? If I would have got a degree at or finished something at 20, it's 14 years ago, I probably would have forgot everything I learned anyway. 100%. So, but it is what it is.
That is a good message, though. But you think about it, like, you're young, like, you don't know what you want to do. Like, I was halfway through my career and I still didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, like you chop and change every time, you know what I mean? So there's a study out there that you don't know what your true strengths and values are until you're in your mid-20s. And so like
true,
the type of person that you are and all that kind of stuff. But like, how are you supposed to know that when you're in high school? High school is meant to be like fun, but you have to do the curriculum and all that kind of stuff.
Well, you got to remember, man, we've gone from high school straight into this professional realm. Like, you know, we could have, guys that didn't step in that game, they had all that time to go, you know, put their feet into different kind of jobs and stuff like that. So for us, we're straight into rugby league. That's all we knew. Yeah. We lived and breathed it, and obviously you lived and breathed it for a long time.
It's just I remember I actually done an apprenticeship. I left school, done the like fire sprinkler fitting, we'd done the Channel 7 building at Redfern. So I was done like 2 years of that. And it was all right money then. As soon as I made that first grade squad out of 20s, I was like, see you later. Someone goes, you want to go back and finish that one day? I said, no way. I said, no, these hands aren't made for hard work. Man.
It's funny you say that. When I, finished high school, you know what I did? I went straight onto a forklift, like in the logistics company. And you know what? That motivated me even more. I said, man, I need to make it because I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Because that's all I knew. Like, I was just thinking, like, surely no one was pushing me to go do like an apprenticeship. No one was pushing me to go to uni or anything. That was what it was like growing up in the area, you know. And I'm just going crazy, like to think. Well, back then I was thinking, shit, I need to make it because I don't want to be a forky.
It's a good motivation, man. For sure.
But man, so you obviously came into the game. Like, I remember when you first came in. I remember you in the 20s. I was like, man, this kid's he's solid. Because you were much bigger back then. You know, Piggy Peats.
Piggy Peats. That was my nickname, Piggy Peats, man.
And I remember you came in for your first preseason. I remember you put a shot on Ben Ross, good old Rossi.
Rossi.
So I remember you put a shot on him and went, yes.
I think that was like, I love Rossi. We get along. That was like that's where I made my mark in that preseason. So we're doing like flat and fast with the tackle pads. Every team has done this drill. I mean, it's forwards versus forwards, and it's flat and fast, and there's always someone who tries it. And then, anyway, I've tackled Ben Ross, and I was having a laugh, and I like rubbed his face. I gave him a little facial, and he got up and like slapped me like, and like, because I think he said he had something wrong with his eye or something. I was like, who the fuck's this bloke think he is? Like, so the next set we got back, and I seen Bo Falloon, like, as a hooker, I know what other hookers are doing, and I see him looking that way, and Bo was going like jab to Benny Ross, and I've come from dead set D defender, and I'm heavier than two. I'm nearly 100 kgs, and I've just closed my eyes and just gone bang, and I've opened my eyes. He's just gone bonk on the ground. He's out, and everyone's just going,
because he's a pest.
Then I think, and even he got up and he's like, fair, hats off to you. And after that, we got along. We still speak now, every now and then, and that was like the thing that I done. Everyone's like, because I always trained hard and stuff. But they were like, fuck, this bloke goes all right.
100%.
And I thought that was funny, man. But yeah, it was
it's always a good feeling when like
young bucks.
When a young buck just comes up and just pumps an experienced fella, and then everyone just mocks the shit out of you. Right? You just going, and then you get up and you go, fuck, man, swallow my pride and just cop it sweet, and then never hear the end of it. It's like you're the talk of the week.
100%. No, it was for months. I remember we were just mocking Rossi for ages. I messaged him the other day and I said to him, mate, do you remember that shot? He goes, mate, don't bring that up again.
Get him to watch this. Get him to watch it.
Man. With your career, with the footy career, man, how was your debut? What was it like, man? The emotions. I remember that when you played against Manly.
Yeah, I remember. I remember everything, man. So clearly with my career. Man. I remember John Lang. I remember myself and McQueen having a fight in the sheds that day. We always bicker. We've always bickered our whole career. Like, we're such good mates, and we were arguing or something. He said,
still the same.
Whatever. He's like, something about come talk to me when you play first grade, like, you know. And then I was telling the story the other day on another podcast how I went to hand over the Armani suits, you know. But me and him were bickering, and then Johnny Lane came in and he didn't tell anyone. Then at the end he named me to debut, and I remember just spraying McQueen and then going up to Hendo's office to tell him I want my Armani suit. But we ended up playing. I remember Manly round 4. I remember being just so nervous and just sick in the stomach. I remember I've always been, it's sort of stuck with my career. I remember that game. I was so scared to do anything because I didn't want to fail. Like, I wasn't scared to have a hit up because I was scared of the defensive line. I was just like, I didn't want to drop the ball or whatever. But I just remember it got to 32-30, they scored in the corner, and Terry Evans had a kick from the sideline to draw the game. And I remember behind the wherever you stand when they score a try, and I was thinking, please miss, not because I wanted him to miss for us to win. It was because I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
I only played like 25 minutes, but I was out of my feet, and I was like, I couldn't go another 10 minutes, like in extra time or whatever it was, then golden point, and then end up missing. So I end up, winning on my debut. It was good. It was just a memory that.
How was it, like, obviously, with your emotions and your family? Like,
So I remember, like, Dad came in and gave me my jersey, and then just the emotions of everything, man. Like, obviously, all the sacrifice. Everyone's been through the same thing. You know, what your mum and that do for you, or your father, or whoever's closest to you. So all the sacrifices that mum made for me as a kid, and to help me get to where I got to. You know what I mean? So that was all pretty much for her, I guess, in a way. She rides a roller coaster with me more than anyone. I think. You know, obviously my wife's been a part of it for 11 years now too, which is a long time. But so mum's sort of ridden it from day one, obviously, and most of it was for her, I guess, back in the day. So it's just then after that, after your debut, then I remember the second game I went back to 18th man, and I was like, and then it's funny, I've touched on it so many times, like believe in fate, you know. So I went back to 18th man the next week, and then Luke Stewart done his ACL that game, and then I come back into the squad because I was playing lock, and I played the rest of the year, the last 19 remaining games, and I was like, if it wasn't for Luke Stewart doing his ACL, I would never want to have got a gig. If he came in, because he was a solid front rower, he was like captain of the club, and he just happened to do his ACL that next game, then I got Johnny Lang pulled me back in for round 6 and played the rest of the year, and that was sort of the stepping stone. So it's like funny how you ride the roller coaster and the emotions of it all, debuting back to 18th man. But I was young then and keen. I was like, I'm going to give this the best 18th man warm-up you've ever seen. Now, mate, you make me 18th man at 30-something, I'm going to not even strap my ankles. Like, I wouldn't even care. I'd be just walk around just filthy. But the roller coasters of rugby league, man, as we've all ridden, you know, with injuries and form and performances of the team. And
I felt like for you, man, you were such a hard trainer, man. Like, I remember you were always leading the pack. All the black dudes would be at the front, like, BT, bro, you rep us, bro, go for it, man. But always, like, your mindset in that room, man, I knew you were always a winner. Like, you were quiet, but you were that quiet guy, man. You'd be like, bro, watch out for this guy. And he'll pummel you for hours, bro. So there was a session with, remember, Shark Bait, where you just be in there for hours, bro. I was like, look at this guy, bro. What a beast.
It's just, I think it's just competitiveness, man. I think I earned that. I was saying, like I've said it so many times, that first year I signed a summer contract. So coming out of 20s, we made the grand final. We had an absolute gun team: James Roberts, Josh Mansell, Dylan Farrell, Junior Vivai, myself, Adam Reynolds, Josh Starling. Like,
Tackers was there too.
Tackers was there in 09. This is in 2010. Like, Clarkie was there in 09. Like, we had such a stacked team. But obviously Reynolds went to first grade squad, and I think Kay Morgan was there. Like, we had honestly like 10 NRL players out of that thing. So all they could offer was Josh Mansell, myself, and one of my best mates, Blake Judd, a summer contract. So promise you 4 months contract and play the trials, and after that they come to me and said, we'll give you $5,000 for March. And then so I was like, sweet. Played reserve grade, and then I ended up debuting round 4, which is I think it was the 1st of April.
Man, I remember being in a similar situation. Like, what was your mindset when you're like seeing all the brothers go up, full-time gigs and that, and you're there with like the summer contract? And
I was sort of off it because I know I played so well. I made the grand final in 20, so I was really off it. But Bo Falloon had a really good year too, and then. So he got signed again, which he deservedly did. So I think they were like, we're not going to take on 3 hookers. But what probably saved me was Bully Isaac Luke, he went to 4 Nations. So because he went to 4 Nations, you know, it's like if there's 3 hookers or halves, you go starting 13, opposed against reserve 13s. I would have been the bench hooker for the reserve team. So I've been swapping with Bo Falloon and going in lock, you know. But because Bully was away for 4 Nations, then he ended up having surgery on his knee after it. It gave me an opportunity to do your reps, you know what I mean? Like, the backup quarterbacks, do your reps. It ended up being like that. So we ended up going, starting 13 was Bowie and myself. And then I transitioned to lock 2. So that another thing, Bully was meant to make. So I was meant to get my reps in. I was meant to train. Like, it's all part of God's plan in a way. And I'm not a religious man, but I do believe in God's plan and a path, you know what I mean? And it was just part of the thing. So.
Because it does get like that. Like, if you see, like, you've built like real good connections within those teams, like those NYC teams, and like, you're good enough to be up there with them, but you sort of like get that resentment. Why aren't I up there? You know, like, and you start thinking about that. But then you got to remember, like, it's always that we always go back to it. Hard work. You've got to do what's needed behind the scenes. So, like,
I think that's what probably what helped me is because I only got that summer contract. So I said, "Fuck you, I'm going to go for this." And then that probably made me train harder than I've ever trained. I remember like training on Duffy, our trainer, he was a freaking hard trainer, and everyone would finish training on the 17th or 18th of December. I'd come in and I'd train with him one-on-one all the way to Christmas Eve. Like little things that you don't do behind closed doors that gets you the stepping stone, you know what I mean? But obviously most people don't really have to do that because they're probably more skillful, I guess, in a way too, you know, but it is what it is.
I feel like you've made those sacrifices over time as you're growing up. You knew you had the vision, you went for it. And then the hardest part, everyone knows as a rugby league player, is keeping that spot.
Yeah.
And obviously when you dropped to 18th man, you were hungry. You'd be like, nah, I need to get back up there. You know,
as I said, I'm lucky it was 18th man in my first year, because if it was 18th man a few years later, I'd be offered it. True. Get me 18th man at Titans, I'm definitely not playing.
There's a lot of those boys, and I feel sorry for them, man. They always get like stuffed around 18th man one week and guess, man, this guy needs to have a crack. And then boom, comes back in, 18th man again. Has to go back and play reserve grade.
Now it's even worse because now you got to warm up and stay on the sidelines the whole game with your gear on.
Yeah.
So
with the jacket on.
Yeah, the blue bibs.
Was there an itch to play with the Tigers? Because you obviously grew up there.
Yeah, there was, man. Because I was at Marrick for RSL and Marrick for RSL and Camperdown Dragons up to under 10s. Then we were at Roselle, so we moved to Roselle. So I was Leichhardt Wanderers for 3 years. Then went to Holy Cross, which is up Victoria Road, and then tried out for 13s and just didn't get picked. Tried out for 14s, didn't get picked, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" Like, just couldn't make it. Just wasn't good enough, maybe in their eyes, and probably at that time, probably wasn't. Then went back. Then I went over to, I've said Mark Reynolds, Adam Reynolds' dad got me over there and picked me up from home every Tuesday, Thursday, dropped me to Lapa, and then Mum would come pick us up from his house at Waterloo. And then I made the 15s junior bunnies, I think it is, and went on to make Harold Mats that year. So maybe I just wasn't good enough in those ages. You know, I didn't make any school teams. I didn't make any CHS or whatever you call it. I didn't make any CC, like nothing. I didn't make any of them. MCC, I didn't make any of those because I wasn't good enough. And then I think just a little bit of a late bloomer in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was keen to play, but then obviously, like I said, it all worked out. So.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
Any kids watching, man, take some tips off that, man.
Yeah.
But you like you said, you loved rugby league that much. Like, it was always a dream. It was always a dream to because like your old man played.
Yeah, Dad played. I think about you debuted in '88, played like '97 or something. He had a fair few injuries, but he played about 80 NRL games. I think.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So you're around it, and you want to play. You want to get to that level, but like you had to like really work hard to get there.
100%. Oi, Origin, man.
Yeah,
I remember when they picked you up. I was probably the proudest, the proudest uncle, bro. Yeah, but yeah, tell us the journey of playing Origin, playing for New South Wales, man. What was the journey like? Yeah,
it's something I haven't really probably truly reflected on just yet, you know. And I always talk it down, like, you played Origin. Yeah, I only played the one series, and I was saying, like, Mum, I said, be proud of what you achieved, you know.
Yeah.
Have to.
I think it was the first game was just such an overwhelming experience, being like, I remember Cooper Cronk come out and saying it was one of the hardest, fastest games he ever played. The ball was in play, like, just ridiculous amount of time. Yeah. And I got the best cork I've ever had in my life from Will Chambers' knee just straight to the quad, and I was just on one leg and just holding on. It was just the most physical, hardest, fastest paced thing I've ever done in my life. Like, I was out my feet, and we absolutely smoked them like 28-4 at Suncorp in front of 52,000 Queensland. I was like, this is the best. And then, game 2, that was just such an overwhelming experience. I remember, I didn't know, before you have your team meeting before you get on the bus at a hotel. Mum and Jade and Leighton came in. We only had the one kid then, and I just started bawling my eyes out. And I remember James Maloney, the little cheeky prick, goes, "Don't cry too much, mate. You'll dehydrate yourself." Because I was just so emotional, man. And like Mum and Jade obviously presented my debut jersey. It was just like, if I could have retired after that first game, I'd be a happy man, you know. And then what's so disappointing is the second game, we had them wrapped up. Yeah. Hainsey bloody blew a try, but it was all right. Then at the end, Michael Morgan flicked past. I think Will Chambers scored. And then Thurston kicked it from the sideline to win the game. And then game 3, we just got absolutely... Cameron Smith put on the biggest displays of all time. Absolutely killed. The first 2 games, he had like 15 running metres. And in the last game, he just come out and made like 150 metres. And we all got scrutinised. Like, I remember for Feeder and Woods, they made like 40 metres. I didn't even have a run in the third game. We just got absolutely pummeled. And we all got screwed. And then that was it. Never played again. Yeah. It's just funny. If we would have won that second game, what a coulda, shoulda, you know. But... if we would have won that second game, Laurie Daly keeps his job. We all get picked again. It's like, But I can hold my head high. We played against Thurston, Cronk, Smith, Slater. The next year, they all retired. The New South Wales come and won 4 in a row. I was like, good on you. But, Yeah, to that first game when Cooper Cronk's come out saying it was one of the hardest games he's ever played in his career, I'm like, that's something to hold my head high. Yeah, I'm still proud of it. It's just I just downplayed a lot because I think it's only not embarrassed. 'Cause I was happy with my performances. The third game we obviously didn't play well. Didn't really have a attacking, sort of anything to do with attacking that game. But we just got absolutely smoked. And there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, I think I'll look back in a few years' time and appreciate. That was a dream, man. That was NRL was a dream, but Origin was that's growing up, man. Like
they played it.
Origin Wednesdays at my house was just even like then living at Juddy's, and when I had my unit at Rosebery before myself and Jay got together, like it was boys' night, it was pizzas, beers, like it was just epic. Like Origin's everything you can think of and more, you know. So
bro, just to play one game, to be in that, bro. Imagine just saying, bro, I played Origin.
Yeah,
it's a massive achievement. Bro. Should be proud of yourself,
around, bro. Like head up high, man.
Yeah. I think I will.
Not many can do it.
Yeah, I think I will as I move on. You know, I've only just recently retired. It's been a few months since we've been back. I think once I let the dust settle and go from there, I think it'll be something I'm proud of. I am proud of it. It's more just I always just downplay it a bit. And I said the other day on another podcast, I think it was what made me feel that way was how I finished at the Titans those last couple of years. I remember saying the other day, you know, I played 10 years of NRL and went overseas for a few years, and 8 of those 10 years were good standard of footy. You know, I played for Para, South, and 2 years at Titans I played Origin. We made the finals. Yeah. And then 17 we pumped freaking Storm. We beat Sharks. Like we had a good team. We had a good run. So like I could hold my head high. Even 18 wasn't all that bad. You know, under Garth Brennan, we think we finished 10th, and I played decent the back end of the year. Obviously, come off a shoulder Rico after Origin, but then 19, man, was just those last 2 years were just really pouring my in as a club. And then I think that's what everyone sort of would have remembered me as. Then that's what I sort of held myself on. It was like those last 2 years, like, shit. So then I'm always put my head down. You know what I mean? I think you just got to if I could just skip those 2 years, and I'd be much more happier. But it is what it is. So
did you have a feeling like, do you know, as you get older, you start to realize, damn, I'm nearly coming up towards the end of my career? Did you know? Were you ever worried about that
over here?
Like over here when you were here?
Yeah, I knew. You know, it's funny. I've only told this story to my wife. I think my mum. I knew the first day. I had Justin Holbrook at Para. He was when Brad Arthur was my coach. He was a 20s coach, and he's a nice guy, a good coach. I actually like him. He's a nice fella, really smart coach. Yeah. And I remember at Titans, you had the coaches' offices upstairs and the whatever it was, and then they looked down over the gym. And I remember I came in early to do with Joel Gretsch, the assistant trainer, do a couple Broncos and stuff. And I remember, I don't know if it was he done it by accident, but I just got this vibe. So I was downstairs and I looked up, and he looked up, and it was him and Jimmy Dimmick, and he just looked down at me, and then he sort of turned away. And I don't think he was being arrogant. He might have done it from that I went, no, I'm gone. Yeah. I just had this straight away. I went home and called Jade straight away. I was like, oh, I'm on the outer straight away. Yeah. And to be fair, like 19, we lost 10 games straight to finish it with a wooden spoon. So it was fair enough. Yeah. And then, it was just a shit year. But I knew I was gone after that. I just wish everyone wishes COVID didn't happen. People lost family members, lost houses, money. So I can't. Like if COVID wasn't around, I would have left and went to overseas and probably would have went to a Saints or a Wigan under playing good footy. Still would have been alright. Obviously, just played 8 games that year. Yeah. Everyone had like 12 weeks off through COVID. It was just a crazy year. But I moved from that first moment. I made eye contact with him. I knew straight away. Yeah. It's like a gut feeling that you sort of have.
Oh, we all get that with different coaches. Oh man, I always say it about Wayne Bennett. I just knew, hey man, my time's up here at Newcastle. But like I loved him as a coach. Yeah. He was such a good dude. Kept me in the grade the whole year. But at the same time, you just get that feeling, bro. Yeah. You'll get that vibe, bro. You get that vibe all the time when it's with different coaches and that. Hey, I want to touch, like when I played with you at the Titans, bro. One thing that I noticed about PT, bro, little 1%ers, little extras, 100%. Always in there, first person in the gym doing your prep. Is that something that you carried through your whole career, even at Souths?
Yeah, well, probably not at Souths. I was just young and cheeky then, and never really had an injury. It wasn't until I went to Para, so I ended up playing 10 years in the NRL, and I had 9 surgeries. Everything from ACLs to ruptured pecs, broken neck, like everything you can think of I've done. So when I got to Para, I started to become really injury prone because I think it was the way I played. Yeah. And I was playing an aggressive style and shoot at line, trying to whack blokes and that, and just I was off my head. I was crazy, like just
standard.
So different to how I am now, how I played at the back end of my career. I think I learned I had to do all that stuff, and I'm the same as my running. If the physio says or the surgeon says, do 4 sets of 10 in the green band, I'll do 4 sets of 15. You know what I mean? If they say, okay, do it twice a day, I'll do it 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I got injured a lot. That's how I came back really quick all the time. Like even with my pec, like back in the day, Mark Gasney done his pec. He was out for 6 months. Yeah. And then the quickest was 12 weeks. And I looked at with Dan Ferris, said I'll be back under 10. And I come back in 9.5 weeks to play. Like I penciled down the thing as I just push hard with prehab. Yeah. And maybe that's why I prolonged my career. Like I ended up playing 160 NRL games. Like me and my wife and I think I missed like 40 or 50 just through injury. Yeah. Not even like with form when Madge would drop me at South and then Holbrook didn't play me in the end. Like I would have played easy 220, 250 games over a 10-year career if you average. But everyone could have played that if they averaged 25 games a year, obviously. But I ended up missing just purely through injury like nearly 50 games. Like that's 2 full seasons of footy.
Yeah,
I mean?
100%.
It's sad, man. So, but yeah, that was the 1%. The same thing. You just got to just get through rehabs. Got so used to being on my own, and rehab's such a lonely spot. We've all been there before. It's so depressing, man. Like, and some clubs make you. Some clubs are good. They make you come in the morning, do your prehab,
get out,
watch the boys train, go home. Other clubs are just wankers about it and make you stay there all day. You're already hating life. They're like, well, if you're on 500K a year, you stay. I'm like, well, fair enough. But
get their money's worth.
I remember I go skinny fat, man. Like I was always upper body, so I had my knee and ACL early in my career. But after that was all upper body. So you can't run and you can't do weights. So I was just a skinny fat mess, like just like doing single arm weights and torture. So but yeah, mate, your question, just 1%. I just had to do it, man. Yeah.
What was the transition to overseas? Obviously you and Jade and the kids were like, we're going to England. Yeah,
it was funny, man. So I finished at Titans obviously September, and then you get paid till the end of October, and then I was supposed to go meeting with Kevy Walters. I was in the car on the way to Brizzy, resting. He goes, mate, the board just said pause on it for a bit. Yep, sweet. Then Manly, Noel Crusher Clear was ringing saying, Desi's keen. He's got another guy, but he's keen on you, mate. I was like, sweet. Yeah. So I got my retirement fund out, and I just kept training, doing my own preseason. I was training like 6 days a week, nearly how I am now, but holding my weight because I knew I was going to go play, so I was bigger. But training my ass off like really hard, and then it got to like just near Christmas time. Like, all right, sweet, we'll wait. Got the January, got the February. What the fuck's going on? And then finally signed with Lee Centurions, and then obviously Lee Leopards now. So I didn't go over there till at the end of March. Yeah. And then my wife stayed here with the kids for 8 weeks, and then I hated it over there, man. Like went to this team that was new to the Super League. Yeah. So obviously, long story short, Toronto went bankrupt, the owner, so they removed themselves to the Super League. So they had to bring up a team. And they brought up Lee Centurions, who had been in Super League before in 2017, I think, but it'd been a while. And these blokes weren't ready for Super League. They were just a reserve grade team. Yeah. Brought them up. We went there and we lost 11 games straight. And I was like, what is this place, man? Like, there were some good dudes there. I still talk to some of them now, but good Aussie dudes in Ireland, Mark Ioane and Junior Sow and Nate Pettigrew, but just a team that wasn't ready for Super League. Some of these blokes are on £20,000 a year, just not into it. Yeah. And then I was playing front row, lock, like it was all overshot, man. Like it was just torture. So then I ended up getting a release, and myself and Nate Pettigrew went to Huddersfield, and that's when I had a really good time over there. And the same thing happened. We got there, and then Ian Watson was so keen to get me, but they'd already signed Danny Levi before I got there. So he was already coming. The quotas was full. Hull FC were keen to get me, but then they balked at the money we asked for, and ended up going and sign that Joe Leverdew for a third of the price. Yeah. So I was stuck in no man's land, living in England, no club, thinking, it's all done. And that's when we took the French opportunity, that Elite One comp. It's such a cool comp. Yeah. We played against each other like it's. I said it a few times. I've done another podcast of ours. As they asked, what was the best experience of it? It was those 6 months in Albi, living south of France. It was honestly the best time I've ever had playing. It's like, what would you call, like a Ron Massey Cup maybe, or A grade?
Probably
like,
lower than that, maybe.
Probably A grade, like a good, like a Gold Coast.
It was pretty solid.
Solid A grade comps. You get a couple of teams that had good experience and good Frenchies, and it was just so fun, man.
They know how to pick their options good, like the front option or the back option. That's it. Man, block for block.
Mate, I was saying I was on the drink on a Tuesday. like I was
on the red wine.
On the Reds, man, going, I should have got training this afternoon. So we had a mad time, and then came back to Australia. I was supposed to go work in the mines in Shell Harbour, and Toulouse called and said, do you want to come back for 2-year deals? Like, yep, straight back to the Super League. And then they got relegated. But my money was the same. So I was like, all right, we'll come back to Australia. We'll go see our new house. We'll have a few weeks here, then I'll head back. And then on my birthday, I had a surprise birthday party here. And then the coach from Huddersfield, Ian Watto, called me back again and said, do you want to come back to Huddersfield? I was like, fuck yeah, let's go back to Huddersfield. Let's win a comp. They've got a gun team. Yeah. Toulouse were filthy on me, like blowing up. But I got a release because I had a thing in my contract, if they get relegated, I can get out. Yeah. Went back to Huddersfield, and in hindsight, probably should have stayed in France, like on better money. They pay for your rent, car, bills, everything. You don't get taxed because you're married with 3 kids. Could have stayed there. But in saying that, we're back home now. got a little payout from Huddersfield because obviously had another year to go, so we bought a car with that. Like everything's worked out well. I can't complain. But yeah, the French life, man, is something I'll cherish forever, man. I looking back now, I wish I would have stayed. But in saying that too, quickly before we move on, like, yeah, my kids, we could have stayed for 3-4 years. The kids would have learned French, but I think their education would have fallen off. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
some of the guys there, their kids are fluent French. I'm like, that's cool, man. But in a few years' time, they might move back.
Yeah.
Hopefully, their kids stick to French. Hopefully, they come back and they're learning sweet and they stay with their French. You know what I mean? But I was thinking my kids might come back and we might not stay with it. You know what I mean? Like, you sort of forget what you don't use anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping some of the boys who are over there, their kids come back and they enroll them into French schools or they enroll them into getting some tutoring still, you know what I mean, with French, because it's such a, once you pick up a second language, man, there's some of those kids like Dom Perry's kids are fluent. They're going to be blessed forever, and I'm hoping he sticks with it and makes them do it when they get back. That's so cool, man.
Nah, that's cool as, man. It was good to see you in France.
Yes, man. We had New
Speaking
Year's
French,
together.
man. This guy was speaking French, man.
This bloke, mate, he's a G up.
What about when before I was coming home, like he's going, man, bro, haven't heard from Eddie for a very long time. WhatsApp, hey, Eels, what are you up to, bros? And I go, nah, nothing, bro. Come play. What was the club that you're at? You're trying to recruit me to Villeneuve. Trying to recruit me to come to Villeneuve. And but I was that keen. I said to Mrs., we're going to Villeneuve. He goes, not a chance. We're going back home. We're going back home.
It would be a good experience, man. But yeah, this bloke, French, English, Samoan, and he starts battling out French. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I know a little bit. He was on the cover. He was saying when he was at Villeneuve and that he'd pretend that he didn't know the language. So he'd go, oh, Eddie, you've been here for 4 years, you know, speak it. Yeah, no, don't know it. And he gets in the sheds, he could understand everything they were saying. He's like, I'm the sly guy, you know, pretending that he didn't know. I remember we went to a cafe and he was having a full-blown conversation. Me and Jay were like, what's he up to?
My man.
But I was saying, this is what I heard. They said once you learn like a second language, you just boom, boom. Obviously, he knows 3 like fluently.
Fluent Samoan, that's why. That's why, man.
Nah, it was good, man. It was good. How is the transition, PT, bro? How's it been? Like, I know everyone's got their own different versions of transitioning back.
Yeah,
I think this is a good one for us because, like, you know, most of the boys that have come in here and done this podcast with us, they're about 5-6 years in their transition.
And you're
but
fresh
you're
out of
right at the start.
3 months back now. Yeah, it's been difficult. Like, so blessed to be here. Obviously, you know, what I mean, and we've come back and you go for a drink and you go to the pub you haven't been to, and you go to the surf club and you're like, how good's this? And we're back, and then you know, the first month finishes. I'm just grateful we got that payout. And we bought our car outright. So like we obviously got a really tiny mortgage, which is so easy to do. And then I paid off cars. So we don't have credit cards. So we're in a, you know, but obviously bills come in. You still got house insurance, car insurance. You got groceries. Your 3 kids. You got electricity. You know, everything. You got all these bills.
Kids' activities and
exactly. And then so the cash flow stopped after the first month. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? And then we had to pay for our dog. Like Zebby's done it a few times. It's cost us like nearly 10 grand to get our dog back, and he just got back the other day. So borrowing money off people to pay for that, it's been a bit overwhelming. I've never been in that position before. I've always been on good money and been comfortable, you know. So just slowly starting to get our, you know, my wife's doing well with the hair stuff. She's doing the Monet stuff. You know, hit her up.
Buzz, man, I need to hit her up.
She's keeping us afloat. She's keeping us afloat. But just started, you know, Kevin Proctor and Jacko and Nick Daly. They got a air locker at Burley, so I've just started working there.
That,
been doing about 10 shifts a week, so they've kept me, you know, doing the morning shifts. That's really good. Starting up with Zebby next week, the AIM Foundation.
Let's go up.
At Rabbitohs High, so I'm just got my foot in the door. It's obviously, I'm still looking for that thing I want to do forever, you know what I mean? But it's going to take time. But at the moment now, I've just got my foot in the door with income, you know what I mean? And Jade's doing pretty good with the hair stuff, so I'm trying to find that job that I want to do for a while, and I want to give back and help, you know, mainly in footy and in community stuff. So I think it's just going to be patient. But like you guys said, if I have to work a 9 to 5 to put food on the table, then I will. And everyone's got to work, and I'm comfy doing that. I just need to find something that I want to do forever, you know what I mean? And obviously, I've been blessed to do that for the last 15 years or whatever. So it's going to take time, but I've just got to keep when opportunities present themselves, just got to be there at the right time, you know what I mean? So I'm grateful Zebby's got me a little gig, and Kevin had to give me a gig at the gym, and just got to keep plugging away. I'm doing my Cert 3 and 4 in fitness now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
Thanks to RLPA. They, you know, Keeg said the other day, you know, you got 8-9 grand in the kitty because you played over 8 years. And I was like, shit, wish I would have done it earlier. This brain is ADHD brain, mate, trying to sit there on a computer doing courses. I do one module and one question, I go on my phone, go make myself a snack, come back.
That's our biggest problem, mate.
Second one, do the second question, same rotation. So it's not good for me, but it's kept me here. But yeah, the transition phase, it's been tough. Yeah, anyone who says it's not, unless they've walked in a job, and people think, oh, you should have been playing this longer. Yeah, I know I should have probably done it, but you got to remember I was supposed to be in England for another year.
Yeah.
This all came really quick. It wasn't until the last round I figured out, because I said to the club, I'm not leaving unless they get a payout.
Yeah.
Because Watto was keen for me to move on. Like I said, my body's not playing well. My mum's had cancer and just had chemo for the second time. I want to go home. Kids are missing home. There's a number of reasons I said, but I will stay.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to play hardball, I will stay. And if you don't pick me, it's fine. I'll do weights all year and I don't care. Like, I'm stubborn that way. And he's like, no, we'll make it work. And it wasn't up to the last round. So it wasn't to the last round, which was leading in the 22nd of September, that I finally got the paperwork sorted.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in my head, I was like, oh, we'll go on a trip away and we're back in pre-season.
Yeah.
So it was hard. So then we had a few months in England, but that's leading in October, November. School years are finishing. Jobs aren't hiring over Christmas. So I thought it would definitely come quicker, but it hasn't yet.
Yeah. How was the family? Like, obviously, with your wife and kids. I know, like, with Faye and the kids, the same thing. As men, we want to be that guy to make sure that we provide for our families. How did they deal with, with your career? Like, obviously, that end of the career with Huddersfield and stuff like that. How'd you go with that?
Well, they were keen to come home, obviously, you know what I mean? I think now that I've retired, having two incomes compared to one will definitely help me. I mean, obviously, I've been the bread maker for a long time, but Jade hates that about it. She hates that. She's been so reliant on me because I've been with Jade since she's been 18. Yeah. She had Leighton at 19. I mean, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, my love.
Happy birthday, Jade.
But, she's hated being dependent on me for money and stuff like that. She hates it. So she's going to thrive and do so well. And I wanted to, you know what I mean? I wanted to. And sometimes I put pressure on me, well, should we call the uni? Like, and she's like, fuck, let me go. Like, it's my life. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to let you spread your wings, because I know how not hard it's been there, because she's had a good life. We've had a good life, but more how she's had to be dependent on me. And then we've had fights, and I get think a bit of prick sometimes. That's my money, and then it's the worst thing you can say to a woman, you know what I mean? In a relationship when you're... So I've learned that so it's been difficult at times. So now I wanted to spread her wings, but I think she's keen to work too, and that can help with the transition phase if obviously if your wife can bring you money too, you know what I mean? So then you got to pay for daycare. Like, it's like then Goldie goes, she's got to go to school 4 days a week. So it's like we're just trying to find that balance at the moment. It's been a bit embarrassing at home because I haven't been able to bring money. I've had to borrow money at the moment, just because this dog. Every time I've got money, the dog's, it's like I've got to pay $1,500. It's like just constant. You know what I mean? I haven't so. We've just got our feet. We've just started to find our feet again. It's been 3 months, and we've had it. It's probably just trying to say no to things too. Learning. Like, when you're in footy, you go for brekkie 4 days a week, and then now it's like, do you want to go spend $120? Should we make coffees at home? It's just
ridiculous, man.
It's that transition phase, man. So it's good. I just want her to be successful in anything she wants to be, and I think she will be. She's so driven and stuff like that, and but obviously having 3 kids, we're nearly made it, man. When that third kid goes to school, happy days. But like, it's another year, she's at big school. We've done it. We've achieved it. So
100%.
Like I said it before. Just want to touch on that. Like, you think about like us as professional athletes, it is selfish.
Yeah.
Like, you have to you're a pro athlete. You have to figure out how to stay there, earn that ridiculous money for a long period of time, and you have to be selfish. And who are the people that are giving up, sacrificing? It's your wife. It's your wife and it's your partner. They've got to sacrifice a lot. Like, they've got to do everything to make sure that you're doing your thing. Yeah. So like you said that, man. Like, that can be another thing in transition for people that are going in that they're going to struggle because they used to be the breadwinner, but then how are we going to bring money in? It's always going to be like that, man.
And I think it's a normal thing. Like, that's what Peachy was saying. If he could, if there's guys now that are going to transition into that phase, start doing some work now in your early stages of life, playing footy, and then you'll make that transition easier. Because I'm the same boat as you, bro. I came home with nothing, bro. You know what I mean? And it's just those first 12 months is just dipping your toes in different areas and then finding what you love doing, man.
The good thing too is that you can do your cert 3 and 4, like say in fitness. You can take you 2 years to do it.
Yeah.
So you're 25. Take 2 years to do it. Do one question on one module every week for 2 years. Like, there's module 1 A, B, C, D. Then there's 5 task things and 5 quizzes. Like, do one question a week, honestly, 100%. And then in 4 weeks or 5 weeks you finish module 1A. It can take you 2 years to do that. It'd be easy.
100%, man.
I done a cert freaking 4 in small business.
Yeah.
At Titans of LG, and it took us freaking like 4 months to do.
Yeah.
I'm never going to use it ever. Like, why not do a cert 4 in something else? Like, idiot.
Do you know what? When you were in France, I was thinking, do you know what? I think they love Peatsy that much. Like, he was obviously coaching the team.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was going to stay there for good and just coach.
I said to Jade, I was like, I loved it so much. I'm like, fuck, let's sell our house and let's move here. She's like, let's do it. And I was like, fuck, because you see the Aussie lads, they go there and they find a French wife and they don't come back. And I'm like, obviously I'm married, so I would have went there. But I was like, we'll learn the language. In 5 years' time, we'll be fluent and let's just live here. And then, I remember in Italy one day we were driving on this boat thing. And I was like, how much is that? She's like, oh, very expensive, 250,000 euros. I was like, what? In Sicily on the water, like it's cheap as can be.
It's cheap.
You could have sold a house, bought one out right there, and just live the French life. But it is what it is, man.
Hey, let's man, I love what you're doing. Like fitness, man. Like you're a CrossFitter now. I'm gonna say you're a CrossFitter.
Bro, he is,
That was so
bro.
funny.
What
I
about
used to-
the rig,
hey,
eh?
mate, Jade killing it in the CrossFit. Like, tell me how that started.
Yeah, so obviously, when we were living in Albi, there was a called CrossFit Albi. It was a little tiny CrossFit gym, and I didn't go there. I just done my own weights with like Jack Cook and Chase Bernard, all those boys, and Cameron Torp. We used to go to a French Anytime Fitness sort of thing. But Jade started going there with Chase Bernard's missus and Chloe, and they could only speak French. One guy could speak a bit of English, so they were like really basic. Like, if you're doing toes, but they just Jade and they were doing knee raises. They done it for like maybe 2 months, 3 months. Then they stopped, and then we moved to Toulouse. Jade didn't do anything in Toulouse. We came back to Australia, went back to Ingham, and then Charlotte Telly, Ricky's wife, said to Jade, come down and try the one in Lee. So Jade went down January last year, and then she just loved it, fell in love with it. And I went in, I was like, Christ, this is shit. And then when I retired, we went to Greece. My mum came over, had a mad thing. I came back, I was like 94 kilos. I was like, wow. And we did before, like put up and I was like, I was chunky. I was like, fuck, I'm going to start coming to the gym. Started doing my fasting and started training well, and now I'm like 84 kilos. I feel good. It's just it's humbling because every time you go in there, you don't know there's something you're gonna be shit at. Like even today's class was so at the end it was you had to finish over 20 ring muscle ups. I can't do ring muscle ups. I can do bar muscle ups. So I'm like, well, there's another thing I can't do. Like it's just every time, even like the double unders with skipping. I've never been skipped before in my life. Took me 4 months to finally get. Now they do crossovers. Like every time you finally get good at something, there's a new thing to learn. Olympic lifting. I mean, we didn't do that in our careers. All I had a shit back at South. All we did was high pull. Hang high pull off the ground, high pull. That's all I ever did. Look at this now. I can't even touch my shoulders. So to even be able to do front squats, we squat like that rugby league players. Now to be like doing this, I'm in there for like 45 minutes just trying to doing a set, and I get it, my wrist is only snapping. Like they're just like, these guys are freaks. They squat ass to grass. Like I've been box squatting. Like, we're all the same. I've seen Zebby trying to try like. They do like even my wife can do. She can only do a 50 kilo snatch above her head. And
she's
squat.
good, bro.
I get a broomstick and I'm like that. Our mobility is not everything we designed doing rugby league. Not too risky. You don't put your shoulders out. Double shoulder recos. Like I can't even do anything. So it's been cool, man. I like being humbled because every time you go there, you're like, fuck, I'm not good at anything anymore.
I remember when I started at a gym called Conquer. Shout out to them, man. It was crazy, man. I walked in there and then one of the ladies, coaches, goes to me, "Rugby league player?" And I go, "Yeah." "How can you tell?" And goes, "Shit mobility." Like I can tell rugby league players when they come in here, the worst mobility ever. It's crazy, because you're right. Like what you just said, like man, and it's humbling. You try and do overhead snatch and squat, but no, can't do it.
I just do power. Power cleans and power snatches. That's all I can do.
Just the simple stuff.
The simple stuff.
No, it's been fun, man. Honestly, like if anyone out there who's trying to get in shape or lose weight, like obviously there's your gym, you lads go to active, and there's F45 vibes. But I found with CrossFit, you're using every part of your body pretty much in every exercise. Like, and it's like even today, it's 20 minutes of strength stuff, and you do a little metcon at the end for 10, 15 minutes. But you're out on your feet in those 15 minutes. Like, and you're using everything. Like, it's not just like legs or car, it's everything. They're all body exercises. So I think that's why it's just stripped off so quickly. I mean, but obviously, like not tackling anymore and doing pre-season, like. Not being sore after training, like I can eat healthier and train. I got a gym at home. Sometimes I'm doing 2 a day because of it. I worked this morning, went to class, and then the Sava I'll do some 5 o'clock before tea to make sure the kids had their baths and ready for dinner and that, and then I'll do a quick 45-minute session at home because you can, because I'm feeling good. And obviously, I know it's not gonna last forever. Maybe when I have a full-time gig. Reality might hit back in and I might be able to. But I love training, man. I've always been that way. I'm never going to not be that way. No. Even myself, Jay, I said, like, this is me. Like, I'm always going to train. I'm never going to not train.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Hey, one last one. Hey, who are you playing for? You
picked the team. Chugi Seahawks.
Chugi Seahawks, yeah.
Yeah, so we were supposed to play yesterday against Runaway Bay, but got rained off. Yeah. So
next week.
This week got Currumbin, the old boys' day down in Chugan. So, you know, I wasn't keen to play, and then Will Johnson, who's a school teacher at PBC, he's a really good fellow, Wilbur.
Good dude,
he was messaging me and saying, "Are you keen to come? Just come down and see what it's like." I was like, fuck, I'll go down. And, you know, 6 o'clock's dinner time at our house. We're probably 5 o'clock. So I'm getting the train at 6 going, I don't want to be here. And then started getting to know the lads. They're all young dudes pretty much, a couple of old heads. And I started having a laugh. And there's like Kyle Williams and Caleb Hodges.
Yeah, Cole's a good dude. Love Cole.
Jimmy Torrens and these good dudes and some good crew fellas there. And started having a little giggle with it. And I'm like, oh, this is all right. And I've always hung out with, and then LG come down, Kane LG. I'm like, okay, we're serious now. Yeah. And then it started getting really fun, you know. And these young fellas, man, like I was the same at Huddersfield with Will Price. I'm older, but if there's a young guys who are like funny and they train hard, I tend to latch to them because it keeps me young. And there's some good young dudes there. So I say, fucking let's play. So I'm keen now. And then, yesterday got rained off. So no matches. But yeah, on to next week. So I'm excited, man.
We'll be there to watch.
There's no Clive Palmer. 20 grand matches under the table.
Taking the piss.
Birdie's taking all of it now.
Birdie's taking it all. Mate.
I've got to send all my big islanders at you. So bring it on, man. I'll be a D defender hiding. Too smart, mate.
Hey, we're definitely coming to watch that one. Because that'll be the game to watch. That'll be the game to watch.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
Let's kick it off with a key message, man. What's the message you can show our audience?
Key message. I think I'm still learning this myself. Is just be appreciative of what you got. I think coming back, I'm like, wish we had money to do this. And then I'm like, and then I seen a post saying, like, if you've got a roof over your head, you've got food on the table, your kids are healthy, be happy. And I'm still trying to learn to be grateful for those basic things.
Come on, bro.
I'm in no way a preacher whatsoever. I'm the fucking biggest sook you've ever met sometimes. Fucking sooky prick, and I always want more than I don't have and always complain. But every now and then you have that reflection. You just sit there and you're like, kids in the pool and you're like, fuck, life's good, man.
Yeah.
Just take what it is. So, and there's so many people worse off than us, like so many people. But see, I'm in a good mood now and I'm chilled and I'm realising this. And then 4 o'clock this I'm yelling at the kids going, get a fucking shower. Like, I'll probably change, you know. But now that I'm in a happy sort of chilled mood, I'm like, just be appreciative of what you got, man.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Man. Thanks for, like we always say, it's always an easy chat. Easy combos when you come onto this podcast. Man, thanks for giving up your time.
Grateful,
I know
bro.
It's Jade's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy 21st, my love.
But, go out, take her out for some lunch.
Yep.
Like I said, to anyone out there that's watching our podcast on YouTube or Spotify, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to ask any of us any questions. Let's go. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for being
Cheers,
on
brother.
Potty, brother.
Yes, thank you.